Let's talk about building a system for discipline that actually feels easier than being lazy. I know, that sounds completely impossible, right? But stick with me because we're about to build a whole new way to get things done.
You know that feeling, right? You look at your to-do list and your brain just shuts down. It's like, nope, not today. Maybe never. It's that feeling of being totally exhausted before you've even started. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are in exactly the right place.
So why does that happen? Well, it's not because you're lazy or broken. It's because most of us are caught in something I like to call the discipline trap. We have the best intentions in the world, but the system we're using is basically designed for us to fail. I should know. I used to be the king of procrastination. Seriously. Every single day was a cycle of promising myself, okay, tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be better. But of course, tomorrow never actually showed up. And then I read this quote, and it just completely changed the game for me. It was like a slap in the face and a helping hand at the exact same time. It made me realize I was focused on the wrong thing. It's not about these huge, dramatic goals. It's about the small, almost boring things you do every single day.
And that gets to the real heart of the problem. Most of us are trying to run our lives on the completely wrong kind of fuel. And it's no wonder we're all feeling so stuck and so exhausted.
Think about it like this. We're always chasing motivation, but motivation is just a spark. It's great, it's exciting, but it's unreliable and it burns out fast. Discipline. Discipline is the engine. It's the system that keeps you moving forward, day in and day out, long after that initial spark is gone. And what do most of us try to power that engine with? Guilt. Yeah, guilt's fuel. It's that feeling of waiting until the deadline is screaming at you, or the shame of not working out becomes so unbearable that you finally drag yourself to the gym. It's a horrible, exhausting way to live, and it turns every single task into this heavy, miserable chore.
So, that's the big question, right? If you're running on empty, if you feel like you have zero discipline in the tank, how on earth do you even start to build that engine? Well, let's get into the blueprint.
This is the good news. You don't need some kind of magic pill or a burst of willpower. You just need a better blueprint. So, we're going to walk through 7 practical architectural tips to build your discipline engine from the ground up. First things first, you have to make it small, and I mean embarrassingly small. So if your big goal is to study for 3 hours, your real goal for today is to just show up for 10 minutes. That's it. The point isn't the big achievement. The point is to prove to your brain that you're the kind of person who shows up. That tiny effort becomes easy, and what's easy becomes automatic. And what becomes automatic, well, that is real discipline. Okay, tip number 2 is to create no-option zones. Here's a hard truth. You're not undisciplined, you're just overstimulated. Your phone, Netflix, social media, they're all in a constant battle for your attention. The solution isn't to have more willpower, it's to have fewer choices. You make the right choice the only choice.
Now look, doing this is going to feel a little uncomfortable at first. Of course it is. But I want you to reframe that feeling. That discomfort isn't a bad sign. It's just the price of admission. It's the tax you're paying today for the person you're going to become tomorrow.
All right, our third tip is an absolute game changer. It's called the 2-minute momentum rule. And the magic number here is 2. The rule is just so simple. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, you do it immediately. Now, this isn't about finishing some huge project. It's just about starting. Put on your gym shoes, open the textbook. Because our brains have this funny little quirk. Once we start something, we hate to leave it unfinished. That tiny action creates momentum, and it flips your internal switch from I'll do it later to, hey, I'm already doing it.
Now, tip number 4 is probably the most liberating one of all. You are going to mess up. It's just going to happen. You'll skip a day, you'll hit the snooze button. That's not failure. The real failure is letting one bad day turn into a bad week or a bad month. The secret isn't being perfect. It's getting back on track 1 minute faster than you did last time. Your recovery is what builds the discipline muscle, not some flawless performance.
And that ability to recover fast is powered by our 5th tip, which is maybe the biggest shift we're going to talk about. It's about moving your focus from just doing habits to actually building an identity. See, it's not about forcing yourself to do something. It's about becoming the kind of person who just does the work by default.
And the language you use here, oh man, it's everything. When you say, I should go to the gym, you're opening a negotiation with yourself. But when you say, I'm a person who trains, that's a statement of fact. It's part of who you are.
And you don't negotiate your identity, you just act in line with it.
And you reinforce that identity with our sixth principle, building environmental momentum. Look, you can't just rely on raw willpower day after day. It's a finite resource, but you can rely on your environment. By tweaking your surroundings, you make the disciplined choice the path of least resistance. You don't need a whole new life. You just need a better setup.
And finally, tip number 7, you have to change how you keep score. Most of us are absolute experts at tracking our failures. That has to stop today. From now on, you track your wins. Every time you show up, even if it's just for 5 minutes, you count it. You put a check mark on the calendar. This builds confidence, and let me tell you, confidence is the rocket fuel for discipline.
Okay, we have the architecture, we have the 7 tips, but theory is totally useless without action. So let's talk about what you can do right now, today, in your very first 10 minutes. I want you to just think for a second. What is the one thing, not 5 things, just one, that you want to be more disciplined about? Is it working out, reading, studying? Just pick one. Got it? Good. Now, here is your only mission for today. You are going to show up for that one thing for just 10 minutes. That's it, the whole assignment. We're not trying to change your entire life overnight. We're just looking for one single tiny win.
It's not going to be perfect. In fact, it's probably going to be messy and a little awkward. But that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you begin, that you break that cycle of tomorrow and take one small, imperfect action today.
So let's wrap this all up. Remember, this isn't about waiting for motivation to strike. It's about building an engine. An engine built by starting small, removing choices, and focusing on your identity as someone who shows up. It's about knowing you're going to slip up, but realizing that your recovery is what makes you strong. And I want to leave you with this final thought. There's no secret club of disciplined people. They don't have some special gene you're missing. They are simply the people who, at some point, just like you right now, decided to stop waiting and just begin. So, what will you begin today?